Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday to show you a fun new project. So hopefully you guys had a day of crafting, because I didn't, but it's okay. It happens. I actually got to spend the entire day with my husband. We actually live together, obviously. He works from home. I 99% of the time work from home, so we're at home together all the time. But if I am not in the house, I'm out in my studio and he's outside. So we see each other all day long, but we don't really get to sit and like chit chat and go to lunch and a movie. And yes, we actually went to lunch. He doesn't like to go out very often, but it was really nice. I had a work meeting this morning, and then he went with me, dropped me off, and ran some errands. And then we went to lunch and went to a movie. And then we had to go to the DMV. So that wasn't very much fun, but we at least got to spend the day together. And then when we got back home, I came out to get the card ready for the Facebook Live. We ate dinner, and voila, it is Facebook Live time. So hopefully you guys had a good day. I didn't have Lucas on Monday. I was very sad. But I was able to get a lot done in my studio yesterday, which today's Tuesday. So yes, that was yesterday. Working on the retreat pillow gifts. They are probably my most funnest thing. I know that's not proper English, but they are literally like so much fun for me to put together and create, and to see your guys' faces when I give them to you during retreats. I still do have space available. I did put it in the little link prior to going live if anybody wants to look at that. And if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me a message or give me a call. Good evening, Marie. Good evening, Anna. If you're just logging on, say hi so I know you're here. Today's card is kind of going along with the class to go that I need to get ready for an email to send out to everybody. Stampin' Up! Is coming out with, I think, 5 or 6 different dies that match current stamps. That is a little difficult to say. I am going to be playing with the pigs. I think it's called This Little Piggies, I think. I forget the name of it off the top of my head. But I'm going to play with a card designed tonight with that set. I did print out the paperwork, so I'll show it to you guys when we flip over to do the project. But I did design a whole class around, a whole to-go class around the little piggies. And they are so stinking cute. I am going to show you the cards that I did design for the class to go. And hopefully this week I'll be able to get the email out. Good evening, Valerie. Okay, that's enough chit-chatting. Let's get you over so we can start crafting. Let me make sure we are live on my iPad. And there it is. So this is the promotion they're coming out with. It's September 1st through the 30th, and everything is while supplies last. So if there's something on here that catches your eye, I would definitely order it as soon as you can. So September 1st is the first day. So I have a couple of them, so I was going to bring them in and show you. So the first one is the Apple Harvest is in the Occasion catalog. Not Occasion, the Holiday catalog. And they came out with dies to match that. Fresh cut stem dies. I don't have this stamp set yet, but they have the dies to match it. And then the Playful Piggies die. So the stamp set is current in the big catalog, and they're just coming out with the dies. So this is what we're going to be playing with today. The Trees Trimming dies. This matches a stamp set that's in the annual catalog. The Waterfall dies, the Yeti dies. I do have this one. So here is the Yeti stamp set, and I've used quite a bit of it already. I actually designed a couple cards for the Christmas Stamp-a deck, and these are the fun little dies that go with it. The little Yeti. He's a little wonky, I won't lie, but he is so cute when he is really stamped and cut out and put on paper. So those are the new dies that are coming out, and you can order those starting September 1st. Yes, Marie, the tree dies are pretty cool. I designed a couple of the Christmas cards with that set as well. So there's that promotion. Let me bring in the dies and the stamp set for the little piggies. Of course, it's all the way at the bottom of my little basket. So here's the stamp set, and here are the matching dies. I did a card. I did kind of a fun fold using this little piggy right here. But the one we're going to be doing tonight is this one. So let me bring in the cards that I did for the class to go. And hopefully I will get this email out this week or this weekend. So here's the first one. And I put a little Velcro on the inside so it holds it shut. I will do video instructions and I will pre-cut everything for you. I do recommend that you do get the die set with this class because there are a lot of little pieces. So just in case I forget something, you'll have the stuff to go ahead and cut it. So this one is super fun. So this is a fun fold class. So I'm going to pick up this little die. He's stuck on the balloon, but that's okay. That's what it's supposed to do. And when you open it, so this is what secures your card closed. And you kind of just bend it back in place, and there's that one. Haha, this one, I don't know which one's my favorite. So this little guy is a great big card, and of course it has a little gift card in the inside. So there's that one. And then we have, oh, this one might be my favorite too. I don't know. They're all super cute. So it's very simple on the front. I use lots of little gems, but when you open it, it has your little pieces that float on the inside. So they are all fun folds that we are doing for the class to go. And then today's card, so before I show you today's card, let's see who else has logged on. Anna, Stephanie, hello, Darlene. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so here is tonight's card. I did put the basic white on the inside, but I definitely will. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do this little tearing technique. And I just did a little bit of sponging on the little tear part just to kind of give it a little bit extra pizzazz. And I don't know if you can see, but I did emboss the piece of basic white just to give it a little bit extra dimension. And I don't know, but there's some Wink Stella on that little piggy as well. So that is what we are going to be playing with tonight. And the designer series paper that I put in there is just pretty much a scrap. So when I was designing some of the pillow gifts, I had a couple large scrap pieces and I didn't want to throw it away. So I actually kept them and I just ripped off the square that I needed. I don't even know if we're going to have to cut this, but if we do, I have my little trimmer beside me, but this actually should work because you only need a little smidgen right here. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with the real red. So you have a piece of real red, and this measures 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it right in half at 4 1/4. I'm just going to fold that and get it out of the way. Sorry for my Band-Aid. I had about 5 minutes before we went live, and I decided to play with something, and I sliced the side of my hands. So I didn't want it to have blood all over the place. So I thought I'd just throw a Band-Aid on real quick. So I am going to put this piece on the inside, just so we don't forget. Perfect. And let's go ahead and set that aside. And we are going to bring in another piece of basic white. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. And I went ahead and already embossed it in, I wish they would put the names on these. I forget the name of it, but it is in the annual catalog. Let me just slide it in so maybe you can see the dimensions a little bit better. So I already did that, and this is really all we need. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and flip our paper so it is vertical, and I want to tear this first piece towards me. So I'm going to take my right hand and, left hand. Take your left hand and you want to tear this towards you. Oh, I think I did that backwards. Oh, no, I did it. We're good. So I'm going to tear a little bit more than halfway, I think. And then the next one we are going to tear, and it doesn't even matter the width. You can go super thick, you can go super thin. That is what, actually I did do it the wrong way, but that's okay. We'll still use this side. So you want these little fray edges facing up. And this is what we're going to roll backwards. So before we do anything else with the card, I just brought in a paintbrush And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to give this, I'm going to try to break down all those fibers in the paper. And I'm literally just rolling this backwards onto itself. Nothing crazy. And then I'm just going to pull out my little paintbrush. And then we can unroll it. And this is optional. You don't have to do this, but I just put a little strip of our green glue on there. So when I roll this back up, it's going to attach to itself. You don't have to do this part, but I just felt it was a little bit more secure. You do need to hold it there for a second. And I decided, I needed mini glue dots, and I'm actually going to hold this and walk and grab mini glue dots as I talk to you. I try not to take it because I always forget to put it back, and I just did that again. I just needed a couple mini glue dots, so I ran over here to grab them, and then I forgot to bring them back. So there, it should be pretty good, and it might unwind, but that's okay. I am going to grab my scissors because I can't find my take your pick tool. And I'm just going to peel off a couple of the mini glue dots. I'm going to unwind this a tad bit and I'm going to put a mini glue dot underneath it. This is just going to give it the extra hold that all of this paper needs. There we go. Super easy, right? Super easy and different. So before we glue this down, I want to bring in my real red, and I just have a sponge. I should probably get a new one. He's pretty yucky, but that's okay. And I'm just going to sponge up these edges, just to give it a little bit more dimension. There we go. I don't think we need the real red anymore, so I'm going to put it away. And now we can bring in our card base. So remember how I said we just had that little scrap of designer series paper? Because it's going to go underneath, we're just going to line it up. So I have a little bit showing right here, so I think I might flip it over. So we will have to cut this little guy, because I needed to hide that little piece that was showing, and this is a rough edge. So let me grab my trimmer, and then we will cut it. I thought my trimmer was underneath me, and the one that I face the wide table only doesn't have a cutter on it, it only has the scoring piece. Okay, so I'm just going to trim off just a smidgen of the end. So it's a flat edge. And then, I did that again, didn't I? Let me push this up so you guys can see it. So there we go. That is how we are going to glue it down. So before I glue this down, I want to grab a couple more mini glue dots, and I'm just doing this to tack it down to the designer series paper. So I'm going to put one on the end, and I'm going to grab another one and put it right here. It sticks to your fingers. And then I just want to line up these edges. And it's sticking out the top a little bit, but that's totally okay because it's a scrap piece. So I'm just going to flip it over, trim that off, and nobody will ever know that that was a piece of scrap. And now we can glue it down. So let's go ahead and adhere this. And if you are mailing this, it probably will smash your little diploma looking thing, and it's definitely okay. So there is that. So let's bring in, I went ahead and cut out a piece of, this is from the same Piggy dies. It's just a scrap piece, and I want to grab our mementos. I'm going to stamp this little piggy says happy birthday. Stamp it right in the center. Perfect. I should have just enough ink left on this to color the edges of this guy as well. There we go. Let's flip that over, put a couple dimensionals on. And I'm going to put this right here. And now we can concentrate on our little piggy. So I already pre-stamped him and cut him out, but I didn't color him. I was going to go ahead and color him on the live with you. So this one I did light petal pink, and I want to grab a piece of paper just in case it bleeds through. So I'm just going to color the little piggy in petal pink. I'm going to do the whole pig in that, but I'm going to stay away from his nose and his little paws, or his hooves, whatever they are. So it's hard for me to talk and color at the same time. So if I'm quiet, I'm not ignoring you, I'm trying to concentrate. Don't forget about that little guy. Okay, the piggy looks pretty good. And then I'm going to come in with the light Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to color his nose and his little hooves. Oh, I forgot part of his leg. Part of our piggy is naked. There we go. So the balloon, I went ahead and did real red. And this is the dark real red. So I did that. And I don't know if you noticed, but the designer series paper, when I flipped it over to cut it, it is actually from the Christmas sets. It's from the Christmas designer series paper, but I thought the back side was super cute. Okay, well, I didn't mean to get that, but we're just going to color it all in. Nobody will ever know. So I'm going to do the candle red, and I'm going to do the little plates, the top of the cake red, the center. So I'm just doing the opposite, and then I'm going to go in with the light real red and do the other parts, just to kind of give them a little bit of a two-tone look. There we go. And then the lights, real red. So I'm going to do the candlestick. I'm going to do the center and then the bottom. And I was planning on leaving the little air bubble thing in the balloon. I was going to leave that white, but that didn't happen. And I forgot to color his tail a little bit darker. There we go. So our little piggy is colored and ready. So I'm going to flip them over and put some dimensionals on. Let's do one more. 4 is probably overkill for this size, but that's okay. And now I'm going to put the little piggy right here on the side. And we can't forget to glitter him up. We're going to put a little bit of Wink of Stella on the little pig and the cake. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more card. I may not color the pig. I should have did that before we went live instead of cutting myself. I should have taken that extra 5 minutes and colored our other pig. But I'll at least show you how to do the torn paper again. So there you go. Super cute and fun and a little bit different. Okay, so I don't know if there is technically garden green for pigs, but I really love the designer series paper. So if I don't pick from a ribbon that I'm using, I'm going to pick because of the designer series paper. So we are going to do the little green, garden green. They're not polka dots, but close enough. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the inside so I don't forget. Set that aside. So here is our 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to try to rip this the correct way. So I'm going to take my right hand and I'm just going to start tearing. Nothing specific. And then this one I'm going to do with my left hand. There we go. So just try to get those even. And if it isn't even, it's not tragic. Grab your, anything small. If you have a pencil that is super tiny, a pen, really it could be anything. A Q-tip. I saw a lady that used the Q-tip. She pulled the one end off the Q-tip so she could slide it out easy. And that worked perfect as well. So you're just trying to break up those fibers. And once you get it rolling, it actually goes pretty quick. There we go. Pull this out. Then I'm going to unwind it. Put a strip of glue. And let's wind it back up. There we go. Okay, I'll just hold that there for a second. While I'm folding it, I will bring in my designer series paper and see, oh, that one works, but we're going to have to just trim off the bottom, which isn't tragic. So I'm just going to keep holding that just to let it dry, flip it over. Where it's not going to work. That's okay. I was going to say I was going to try to hold that and get the mini glue dots, but it's not going to happen today. So there's one. And this just tacks it down so you can make sure you're getting it in the right place. We're just going to line those edges up. And let's not forget to grab a couple and put underneath our little wrap. There's one. This one actually unwound a little bit, so it's a little bit thicker. And let's trim this off. And the Band-Aid's coming off. I think I forgot to turn my air conditioner on. It's pretty toasty over here. You'll probably see when I turn the camera back around. I'm glistening just a tad bit. I usually don't keep the air on if I'm not out here. And I think I forgot to turn it on when I came out here. And we do not live in Arizona without air conditioning. It is brutal. So there is that. And let's see. We might not even be coloring a pig anyways because I don't see him beside me. But we'll at least stamp. And you get the gist of how to put the card together. That's the majority of this Facebook Live is the card. And that is definitely Cricut. But I want to show you something. So when you take your brushes to color the edges, it really offsets and it doesn't show how crooked it is. I'll show you. So when you color the sponge the edges, it kind of takes away from the sentiment being a little crooked. And I'm actually glad I did that because on my first one, I did it as well. It was crooked. And I just sponged the edges and nobody knows. So we're going to take that off. We're going to put this little piggy says happy birthday, and we'll find our other little piggy and color and stamp him and color him later apparently. Not tonight, but you get the gist of how to do this fun card. It's a wow card, I think. I definitely think it would be considered a wow card. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your Facebook Live. Hopefully I am not too glistening. It is pretty toasty in here, especially with all the lights on. Yeah, I definitely forgot to turn the AC on. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will be back on Thursday. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. If not, I will see everybody on Thursday. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.